Floor's yours.
We are Labor Now. We are Labor's best friend.
So our team, I'm Adi Patel, I'm a senior here at Hunley High School, and I also wrestle.
I'm Ishan Trivedi. I'm a junior here at Hunley High School, and I play tennis.
Hi, my name is Adam Shmuda. I'm a junior here at Hunley High School, and I play football. So that leads us into our next thing. First of all, I want to thank you guys for your time, for coming out here, listening to our presentations. And going off of time, as we all know, time is very valuable to a person. In your daily life, most of you guys work a job, or whether that be entrepreneurshipping, and going off of that is the idea called Labor Now. What Labor Now is we are a middleman company. We're connecting the buyer to the consumer of what is going to be snow shoveling and lawn mowing. The problem is that a lot of people work a job, they may have kids, they may have other tasks to do, they gotta cook dinner, you have to brush your teeth, you have to get ready for bed, or you have a night out with the friends. And so what going off of that is that we offer a service to where you can go ahead and have the labor worker do that for you. And some of our competition that we have seen so far is TruGreen. TruGreen is a company that go ahead and comes out. They'll go ahead and offer your lawn care service. And also a local guy here in Huntley called Gray's Lawn Mowing. And he is a landscaping business. And what makes us unique and what sets us apart from those two companies is that we are more of a direct service to where we can offer service on the go. So if you were to go ahead and put your labor needs on our website, we can go ahead and fulfill that with a worker on demand.
Alright, so this is going to be our marketing. So we have an Instagram up and running. We have about 10 posts on there. We're trying to post as much as we can just to get the word out there. We've also been getting in the DMs of some like other professional lawn care, not services, but Instagrams that post they just post like content about lawns, and so we're trying to get them to post our brand and just get the word out there that what we're doing. Also, we have a Facebook, the same idea as our Instagram, just to like cater to the more older clientele. And then YouTube, we're getting a YouTube coming soon, which is going to post like what we're going to be doing. Also, we have a commercial that we're trying to put it up on YouTube. And our website's like a big part. I can show you that.
And just to be specific, the clientele we are looking to go ahead and target is men and women about the ages of 35 who typically tend to have a busy schedule. Those would be the people that would be purchasing our service. And then for the workers to go ahead and complete that service would be kids more around our age, teenagers. Why teenagers, you may ask, is because the question is that we are more willing to go ahead and do labor, and we have more of a free schedule. And obviously any teen likes the idea of making money.
We have like Adam just said, we have 2 target markets. So this is for on our homepage for our first target market, which it's anyone, but we're trying to do it to younger kids so they could sign up, make some extra cash, like another side hustle. If you go to the services tab, that's where older people who want their service done could actually sign up. Click on what services we offer. We're obviously going to offer more in the future, but currently for the beginning we're going to be targeting lawn mowing and snow shoveling. And that's basically our website summarized. We also have an About Us page, just tells us who we are. It's our team photos and stuff like that. And yeah.
And so going off of that, as you can see here, we have a financial model, and I'll pass that off to Ishan.
So first is our COGS. So it's 90% per unit. So this more explained is, I have an example here. So let's say we have prices per lawn. This is big, small, big, medium, small. And for the big one, it's $50 for one lawn. But we, as a company, don't make all that $50. We only make 10% of that, which would be $5, meaning the other 90% would go to the worker, whoever's working. So they would make $45 and we would make $5.
And so our projection here is to have around 80 units, or if you want to say 80 services sold within a year. As we typically know, Illinois tends to have a 3-month season of snowing, as it has snowed yesterday and today. We kind of project every month we would get 1 to 2 purchases in each category of meaning small, medium, and large driveways and sidewalks. And then you go ahead and move yourself into the lawn mowing season, and we kind of project the same thing with that, is to get a couple services used each month. And then mainly I would say June, July is kind of that peak summer point where your mowing season is going to be at an all-time high. And genuinely people like to mow their lawn at least once a week, if not more than that. And so that's where we really are going to see our services skyrocket.
So for our hypothesis, we hypothesized that if we create a website with the worker form, like this form I just showed before, and with our website where we have information or what our company does, then people would sign up for the service. And we're going to measure this metric basically by the amount of submissions we get, and more so the amount of emails we get, because when we're up and running, we want to contact them saying like, you signed up the form, please, just to notify you we're ready to work if you're interested. And then they could, like we said, when there's a job, we could contact them and then they could work. And then this is our data.
All right, so when we had, before we had our website, we actually had a Google form, and we went out to a lunchroom, and we spent about 40 minutes just asking people if they're willing to do some work, and if they were, just fill out the quick Google form. And so in that 40 minutes, we got 29 responses, and you can see most people are willing to do any labor. We got some that are willing to babysit, which we can add on there. Also, this is going to be our website, so what it is the submissions like Ishan talked about on their website. We get emails every single day of people signing up. Like today, I got like 3 or 4 emails of just people signing up. They probably found through our Instagram, went on our website, and just applied to be a worker. And these are all students mostly that are applying.
Yeah, we have the emails there, and then if you scroll over, there's also other information. Really the only important things are email.
You have phone numbers too.
Yeah. So our funding is, so the first thing we need is an LLC. This basically helps us with our taxes, and the plan of LLC that we selected was, it includes an operating contract and an EIN as well. Considering that we have employers, an EIN would be useful for the taxes. The next thing is insurance. Insurance is our biggest cost, at around $1,100 per year, and that's the only insurance we need is general liability. But with the amendments under it, it would protect in case there's a damage to property or damage to equipment in case the person is using the homeowner's lawnmower. It protects all that. And the next thing is web hosting. This is probably the most important thing we need currently, because we're an online service, and with the current website plan we have, we can't purchase anything online. So in order to actually buy a service, we would need the web hosting, and also it makes it so the domain is different. So currently our domain's long and complicated. It's like labornow222.wixsite.com. We could just make it, labornow official.com or just labornow.com. And also another interesting thing that our platform offers is that it has its own insight marketing, which is very useful for having the website appear on the first page. That's also included with the web hosting, which makes the price, SEOs. So it makes the same thing, it just adds it. And then we have a liquidity cushion of 10% of total, which is $250, with a total of $1,900.
And so to also be more specific to you guys as well, is our total addressable market that we are planning on doing is going to be the whole entire United States. And if you go based off of homeowners within the United States, you're looking at about 124 million homes within the United States. And with that is about $2.7 billion that is going to be made in revenue. And then if you want to even narrow that down more, we would obviously start in our own state. But really to start off is we're looking to target homeowners in Huntley, which we have roughly 13,000 homeowners in Huntley, Illinois. And we're looking to get about 10% of those people. And with that, we have a probably minimum service of 1, and with the price being about $30 on average per service, we would make about roughly $3,000 worth of revenue.
So our next steps, the first thing we would want to do is add merch. So like let's say when a worker is mowing the lawn, if they had a Labor Now T-shirt, someone's driving by, like or like even those flags you can put on the lawn while they're mowing it or something. It's like a better form of marketing. Also more media obviously because we're all online. The more the media, I guess, the better. We could target both to the workers and the people who should buy the service. And we also would want to go to localized events, maybe set up a booth or something, tell homeowners of Huntley or McHenry County even, just to like, who we are, what we do to make ourselves more well known. And yeah, thank you for listening.
So you were the cell phone case group?
Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing pivot. You are looking to be the Uber or Instacart of
Yes,
lawn services,
correct.
basic lawn services. And I think that is a genius idea. And I think there's a huge market for it, as you pointed out. And I think it would be easy to convert people to be your customer, even for a one-time thing. So your value proposition is very Uber and Instacart-esque. So I think that's a very easy sell, and I think it's a sophisticated solution for that. On your pricing model, why did you set a fixed price?
So that's just a general idea, but basically they're going to get to decide on what they want to, like, so let's say you're, you have your own lawnmower, right, and you have a medium-sized lawn. You don't have $50, $45, so you're giving them your lawnmower, you're saying, okay, use my lawnmower, I got a medium-sized lawn, I'll pay you $15. There you go. We take 5% of that.
Yeah.
So you get to set your own price.
Okay, good. Yeah, I think that's a good.
We also, yeah, so the way, we have like per acre, I guess, like, because like, there's always going to be a dispute on what classifies as a big lawn and what classifies as a small lawn. So we're going to research more into that and add like a per acre, what's classified as what, and then obviously they can like still, within the price range, they could work that out.
Yeah, and you can gather all that data and say, like, in your area, your size lawn goes for about this range.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I would look into maybe like a fixed fee for the to you. So like you're not doing a percentage base, maybe a fixed fee for different classes of lawns or work. I like the idea of customers setting the price. I've been in this situation before. I can relate to what you guys are trying to sell. I've been really busy one week. I see my neighbor's lawn care service. I look at my lawn. I go, oh my gosh, I don't have time for that. So I flip the crew like $50 and like just take care of it. You know, like so if the customer's setting the price, if they really need something done quickly, they can jack up the price, attract something more quickly. And then, you know, I think in terms of helping drive quality as an end result, maybe adding like a percent tip feature. So when the homeowner comes back and they inspect the lawn, you know, hey, this person did a really good job, set a rating, 5 stars for this person.
Yeah, we have it. Like we're gonna make it so that whoever the worker is, when they create an account, it's gonna show like a rating too, and like it's kind of like Uber. It shows like how good your driver is. We're gonna have the same thing. We're gonna show how good the worker is because I'm sure you don't want your lawn to be damaged, especially if you care about it.
Yeah, you can set a 1-star, no tip,
Yeah.
send a message. And I think it's very perceptive of you to say that you have 2 target markets. You really do. You know, you have the buy side and sell side, bid and ask, right? And so connecting those two for people willing to work and people willing to sell, I think that's a great idea.
And I also feel like if this gets a lot bigger, then like maybe even TrueGreen could even sign up on ours and take a lot of our customers, right? Because that would be smart for them to do. Because I doubt that they have unlimited lists of clientele, right?
And there's nobody in this market space right now.
Not that connects them,
Yeah.
but I mean they're all other lawn care
Okay.
services, but they focus specifically on one thing.
Yeah.
Like or
There's no one
they're
that-
the one that cuts it.
There's no one that does on-demand lawn
You're
care.
paying a company with huge overhead and stuff like that, and you're not connecting it to, you know, the kid down the block that does good work.
Exactly.
Real quick, a couple of things. If you guys already get it,
We have one late bus, 113, but I.
You guys hang out, finish what, everyone else can roll out. Sorry, so I was just gonna say, as you guys get into, as you get into, like, if you're doing babysitting, then background checks become very important. Even for people like mowing, some people are, you feel more comfortable if you have a background check that's done. So you guys really wanna,
I think even if we expand to babysitting, we would also need to add like
possible.
I think there's another type of insurance for it. I'm not exactly sure what the name is, but I know we would have to. It would not just be the general liability. There was another insurance that we would need for babysitting. Also for babysitting, what we were thinking is we're going to require that the worker has like prior experience, maybe, or like.
And some type of maybe certificate or
Yeah, sure.
classification, say, that certifies you, say, pretty much, I guess, what the angle of it is hey, you are certified enough to go ahead and take care of my child while I'm going out to do something.
The other thing I was gonna say is you guys are gonna have to be careful to lead, meaning like there's nothing preventing some guy from showing up, talking to the homeowner and saying like, hey, you know what, I can do this for you for $5 cheaper, $10 cheaper a week, just cut out, you know, you guys basically. So, you know, that's something else I would think about is that there's probably be a lot of people that say, yeah, it's just easier to go through your service. So if you can provide something that makes it convenient for them to continue to use you, like that's gonna be important, because otherwise if it's these guys are showing up, you know, they're giving the guy cash or whatever, that guy might just say like, hey, why should I have a middleman? I can just go right to the source. So that's something you guys are definitely, you wanna try to think about, like, hey, how's the best way of making sure that we're getting people coming back and we're not just getting that one time or two times and then they just go directly to that person.
Well,
Yeah.
we were thinking of like on the worker form, we were thinking of adding like kind of like an agreement that you can't do that. But I mean, we can't really enforce it. But we could still create an agreement. Like it's like a terms and conditions thing. Like we accept, as a worker, you accept that you're not going to do this, something like that.
Sure. I think it would be hard because they're considered contractors. They're not employees. So it's, I mean, actually a lot of places now are, like we're finding courts are more and more frowning on, you know, exclusivity. And so I would think even as a contractor, it would probably be really difficult to enforce. I'm not saying don't put it in there, but I'm just saying that's something you definitely want to think about is like, hey, how do we make sure these guys are coming back? How do we make this so convenient and so good for both the worker and the person that's, you know, hiring them to make sure they want to come back and use you.
Yeah, and I'd say the hardest part is a lot of people, or at least the target market of what we're in, is you're not going to have many teenagers out there that are going to go ahead and find themselves knocking on door to door, trying to go ahead and offer a service. And so that eliminates, I guess, the pressure on them to go ahead and do that. If they can just go ahead, they can sit, as it's very technology-based generation that we are, is they can sit at home, they can go on our site, Labor Now, and they say, oh, there's a booking, you know, a neighborhood over for me tomorrow at 4 o'clock, you know, they just go ahead and they can go ahead and provide that service, sign up, and they get paid for it. They don't have to go through the struggles of, hey, you know, like introduce who they are, what they want to do.
So it's good for new leads, but it's when they get in there, they've done the same one person for 3 or 4 times, and then they're like, hey, I got you now.
Yeah, that's like another thing. We're just there to create connection, but we should definitely add something that could like he said, make them come back. Yeah.
Harmless. The other one I was just thinking now, as you guys were talking about, is how are you planning on accepting credit cards? Are you, how are you?
So what we were thinking is that the person who's buying the service, they're not going to pay the worker. They're going to pay the website, and the website is going to pay the 90% to the.
Okay.
And also we would add in, sorry to cut you off there.
That's okay.
We would add in is some type of verification, whether that be from the homeowner or the worker themselves, that they actually completed the service. Because as we know, I guess when it's snowing outside, say you shovel, you do it, it's completely nice, and then a couple hours later there's snow on the ground again. Obviously you can have an incident where the homeowner is like, hey, they actually never went and shoveled, and the worker is going to be like, well, I actually did do that. So we might add in something that shows verification of completion.
Like the worker can just take a picture that the lawn's
Sure.
or something.
I was just thinking more like, if you guys are going to accept cash transactions through your website, the cost is going to go through the roof exponentially. Like
With cash through the website?
Just in general, like if you accept credit cards through your website.
Yeah, we have credit cards too, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean that, like, because you start paying processing fees, so if processing fees are 3% and you're taking 5%, you've just taken, 3/5 of what your profit
You
is.
can put them on the consumer though.
We're thinking
Good.
doing
Yeah, I mean,
Venmo or something.
That's the thing now.
Yeah,
too.
so
It's
Venmo
like
is what a lot of people do to avoid that. So I did have that same question, is where do your clients pay and how do they pay? But then One thing that you're going to have to really think hard on is that how you're going to pay your workers. So 1099 versus a W-2, they're going to have to report their income in some capacity. It's probably going to be a 1099 situation, but you have to understand who your labor market is, and giving them a 1099 and having them going and file their taxes and all that kind of stuff. That's something that you kind of have to think about. You know, when I was your age, I worked at a restaurant and they gave me a W-2, and then I went and my dad helped me file my taxes, right? You're now adding in a layer of a 1099 that's going to have to be brought in to be filed, which is a different kind of filing. So just kind of think about that from a numbers perspective. And then also, the one thing that you might want to consider is how are these people, whose equipment is everybody using? Is it the homeowner's equipment? Is it their own equipment? How is that a factor in there? And are they going to be able to have reliable equipment at the home? You know what I mean? Just kind of think about that too. That's just kind of a background noise thing. I could not figure out how to work my snowblower yesterday, so I ended up shoveling. Some snowblowers are really nice, and some scream up your driveway. This is what I hear about things. So just thoughts.
Yeah.
On your website, your messaging has to be super clear, like right away. And this slogan, "We are labor's best friend," it's just kind of confusing to me. I'm like, what's labor? And then I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, wait, what would be the best friend of labor? It just kind of sounds like the labor now I think is good, but I think it should be super clear to your consumer. Like, we do the jobs you can't. Like that's like I'm like, oh, they do the job, or we do the jobs you don't want to. Or,
Yeah, right.
Like,
You
just
know,
be
we save your time.
Yes, be super clear and right away, because you have that second that someone looks at your stuff.
Yeah.
And when I'm like, we're labor's best friend, I'm like, well, that's weird a little bit, and I just kind of get lost and move on.
Play off
So
of that somehow in a way that ties it more to what you're doing
Yeah.
rather than. At first, I thought that I couldn't figure out what you did at first. So
Yeah.
I'm like, who are you friends with?
yeah, I was like, who's my labor? What? And then labor, sorry, but then I'm like labor, like pregnancy labor, because I, whatever. So
Because we're moms.
Because we're moms.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, who's my labor's best friend? I'm like,
My nurse.
I know. Like,
Not my husband.
Not my husband, that's for sure. And then I would study Uber and Instacart systems, like, whether it's like information that they have on their website, like their contracts, their things, like, I don't know, there's tons of stuff on the internet you can learn
Servicing
about different
fees,
companies,
all
like
different
all those
things.
different things, because it's the same model, even though it's not, you might think you want to study like True Green, but really you should be studying those kinds of services since they're similar, even though it's a different product. They've obviously got it figured out, so.
Yep.
Right.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Excellent advice.
you.
Awesome.